welcome to Team Fortress TV. We're gonna be here. ETF 12 Season 29 Prem Week 2 official between the Bus Crew and the Swamp here. You have me, your play-by-play caster for tonight, Hipfire. You have the analysis caster here as well, Ombrak.
Turbo Tabs.
Oh, sorry, Turbo Tabs. I'm sorry, this is Turbo Tabs. He, after GA, he wanted to, come back to France, and he picked up this really weird accent. And now, this is what he sounds like now. So, please don't
Yep, that's
be mean
me.
to him. Yeah?
Turbo Tabs. I'm really happy to be with you, Hipfire, and I'm sure this is going to be a really close game between the Bus Crew and the Swamp.
Yes. We also have a Console here from the North American continent here to help out on production. So big shout outs to him. There's actually also a second game going on if you're interested in the Verdas Listis Doof versus or Electro game. That game is actually going on Team Fortress TV 2. That's going to be casted by Dumtum and Grumpy Coin and Gemlin Production. So
you should stay here, definitely.
Well, I mean, if you want to watch Germans, but I'm here to watch my boy. Actually, I'm slightly biased in this game because I just noticed that I have 3 people in the Bus Crew team on my friends list. So, gotta cheer for the Bus Crew.
I have everyone from the Swamp on my friend list, so
Nice.
I guess we all have our own team, our
allegiances.
At least it's been called. Everyone knows about it.
Yeah. This is for transparency purposes, so it's very important. But yeah, so this is a bit of a mid-prem brawl here. Teams that are kind of seen as teams that can probably potentially make it into playoffs in one of the lower seeds, and well, it's gonna be quite interesting. But I guess I'll go through the Bus Crew roster since I'm so biased towards Bus Crew. So they have on scouts they have Alba and Deox. On soldiers, they have Poison and Tobbs. Demo is going to be Yawn. And then now they're finally playing with their medic. Last time they played with Bats, but this time they're going to be playing with their actual main medic, Martin.
Yeah, and I'm feeling ogreish tonight, so I'm going to go with the Swamp. On Scout, we have Crayon previously playing medic for Lopander in Prem. And the other Scout slash Sniper slash Spy slash Heavy is Gink. On Roma, we have Pred, the Pocket is Yelin, Demoman is Domo, and the Medic is Degu from Czech Republic. And before we go further, let's just say these two teams already played each other in an official environment. They played each other in the Prem qualifiers. And if I remember correctly, I think the Bus Crew won in 3 maps.
Yeah, they did. That was quite the close. It ended in like a 3-2 product game. That was quite a close match. I don't think it ended up being covered on TFTV, but it was quite, the derby there. And I think they played each other actually on Gullywash in that very official. I am slightly blanking on which team won. I thought it was
Bus Crew 1v0 on this one, on Gullywash, I mean, and
Yes.
Sunshine is they haven't played each other on Sunshine yet. So about week 1 results, the Bus Crew actually lost against Dunya 6-0, but that was a pretty close game if I'm not mistaken. I think it was 4-2 on both maps. So when you're a new team such as the Bus Crew, it's kind of encouraging to have a close game to start with, even though you don't get any points. This is something you can build the rest of your season on, so that's pretty good. And the Swamp had a really rough start playing Ascent on the first game, and they only managed to get one round on the 2 maps, making them the team with the least round scored in this season so far.
Yeah, you had such a dominant performance there. Do you have anything to say? Do you think that the Swamp what they maybe need to improve going into this game, from your experience playing against them?
Well, I think what they have for them is that they can play many of classes. This is how they won the round against us on Sunshine. They run Heavy, Pyro, and Spy to mid. And I think against a less experienced player, it could be good enough to make good things happen.
Alright, well, we're going to be going into the first mid here. The teams have readied up. Let's see what's going on this first mid for the official Bus Crew versus Swamp here on CP Sunshine. Let's see what's going on. The demos have arrived Busker is a lot slower to mid than the Swamp is. The Swamp already taking a lot of positioning here on the left side by the cafe of the Busker. Poison jumping in, trying to get some initial damage. When he goes down to jump from Tobbs from the other side, it's completely denied. Alba going down as well, and this mid is already over for the Busker. Quick and simple for the Swamp as they put a scout on mid. They're trying to peek choke, see if they can maybe take second off of these 2 picks that they've gotten as well. And the Busker seems to just be giving it up. And that's going to be 2 points already capped.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the Busker was really slow to mid, and they were all stacking choke, and I see the double bomb from the soldiers from the Swamp picking Ion kind of out of position here. You really don't want to lose your demo when you're holding your last point, but yeah, the fact that they were all stacked close to their choke and cafe was really an easy job for Yilin and Pred to spam them out and win the mid. So really strong showing right now for the Swamp, and it looks like they want to maybe do a double stack on top right.
Yeah, the hold for the Busker isn't ideal. Tobbs is behind, so there's only really 4 people alive on last. The bomb has come in from Pred. He only gets Alba. Does not get that medic pick he was looking for, so Sniper's down, but it's not a big deal.
Nice hold here from Martin. Like, he had 2 soldiers on him and he decided not to use. We can really see how important it is not to use here, because without the Huber it's going to be really hard to hold this last. But Sunshine is one of the lasts that is the most, like, one of the easier lasts to hold. When Ubers are the same, it's really hard to push in. So especially with when you're off classes when you hold, but it looks like the Burst crew isn't having any of these no off classes. Oh, and just as I said, is Alba is going on Sniper. So we're gonna see how the Swamp will try to break it, but without any off classes, this is gonna be really hard for them. And I already see a Pyro too on Deox.
I mean, you've been talking about last, but I've just been watching Tobbs here. He's just been behind this entire time. He gets onto Daegu with 1 rocket. He kills his pocket scout. He gets 1 rocket onto Daegu. He's so weak. He's 60 HP, but he doesn't hit the follow-up rocket and his like 2-minute-long flank play. It doesn't really work out, but Poison's trying to edge the point off of this scout pick that they have, and Yilin actually jumping to point, gets denied by DX, going down, and Swamp is just kind of out of this. Daegu wants to try and trade as he pops his Uber, but the Swamp players aren't in position to really initiate this trade. They eventually force the Uber to try to get out through the cafe area, and they seem to be able to get out in time, and they're going to be able to stabilize on mid, it seems, as Busker kind of prodding in choke, prodding in flowers as well, but yeah, it's stabilizing. It's going to be a hold on mid.
Yeah, it was a fair try. The Swamp tried to exchange River on second point, and they did it kind of okay. They used before, but they had really a lot of time to come back to mid, and now it's going to be a reset. Ubers are pretty even, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Swamp will try to break this. Will they? I know Pred has an interesting bomb through Flower to try to double bomb to try to go for the med, so maybe we'll try to do that. But other than this, you can't really dry push in this situation when it's 6 players against each other. So we're gonna see. I'm expecting Gink to die at some point to go Sniper, so, but maybe this is a bit early to pull this.
Maybe these teams just are content to just kill some time, just wait it out, try to get the other team a little bit nervous, but Swamp at least peeking a little bit with their heals through Cafe. Domo and Crayon are trying to see space. Oh, he doesn't really get anything, unfortunately, but it's a good attempt, just a little distraction play from the Swamp. Not really working out as Tobbs trying to find his way through the Swamp flank, through flowers here. There's not really anybody actively watching it. He now sees Crayon, and he can't really jump in, doesn't just want to get immediately denied there. Poison switching positions with Tobbs, but yeah, the spawner from the Swamp is back up, and now it's going to be once again waiting on the next move from these players.
Yeah, a good thing that Sunshine allows you to do on second point is that the skybox is really high, so the soldiers really have a lot of room to work with, especially with the high bombs, and it's going to be really hard to deny them if they hit the proper jump really high and really quick in the sky. So they can turn around the lighthouse and surprise the medic, but here somehow Yidin had a really good jump in, but it didn't manage to do any single damage to Martin. And I think while we have a little time, I say that Pred is double bombing is followed up by Yil, and they try to go for Martin, but really nice positioning here from the Dutch medic. He doesn't get any damage on him, only 1 rocket from Yilin, and he managed to surf away. He hasn't used it, and now no soldiers on the Swamp.
Yeah, Alba's trying to find a pick here through choke as the sniper, but he can't really find any valuable targets. He just sees a scout and fires, and he doesn't even really pull the trigger on that and just goes down and spam. So 2 picks for the bus crew, but nothing that you can really play off of. I mean, it seems like
that's one less scout for the bus crew. So if they want to try again to do the double bomb, they can, because this is 1 8 scan less. And Pred knows about it. He's trying to go for the med. He's doing the exact same jump, and Martin once again just strafes away. This is the 3rd attempt, pretty much 3 times the charm, I guess. It didn't really work. They always do the same bomb somehow. Martin has a really good read on the situation, and he always managed to surf away.
Yeah, well, he has actually put this Uber now. There's a little bit of a trade going on here in mid, but Martin is going to be walking out with Deox through Cafe as Domo and Dago are trying to get the chase going, but they can't catch any of the players. And a little bit of trade, and we're back here in the same situation, but now no Uber, so maybe some potential follow-up after this, but we'll see.
Let's use the 30 seconds to go with our predictions. Hipfire, who do we think is going to take it?
I mean, I'm kind of, as I said, I'm kind of biased to the bus crew, so I think that they're going to probably win it. I think it's really going to be close, so I'm going to go for like a 3-2-2-1, something like that.
Ooh, so 1 round different scoreline.
Yes.
Okay. I think the Swamp is going to take it. I mean, they already have the middle, so you know, it's 1 step ahead towards the victory.
You set me up like this.
Exactly. So again, this is the exact same situation we've been in for the past 5 minutes. I'm surprised Gink hasn't gone for any kind of sack plays, because I know he can play sniper. Only Alba has picked up the sniper rifle yet. Pred jumped in again, and now it's healing, and it's the same jump over and over again. And this time, both the soldiers weren't even synced, so it's probably the worst attempt from the Swamp so far. And the bus crew is pushing back in.
Yeah, they're trying to make their way through. Ooh, Alba wins a fight against Gink, and now it's an Uber trade, and Alba going down actually caused this to be a even number Uber trade, with Poison jumping in, finds the one un-Ubered player from the Swamp around the point. The Domo going down. Player going down for the bus crew as well, and the spawners coming in for the Swamp is causing the bus crew to have to back off, but they don't have their spawners just yet. And the Swamp is at least going to try and peek around here as Pred is on the fence outside Choke, sitting on the high ground here. Crayon walking through, Yilin jumping in as well. Tobbs taking a lot of damage. Deox trying to just juke these shots away. And now is a 6v6 fight here on the bus crew second. And it's just kind of a spam fest as nobody really wants to commit all the way, but Poison is the first one to go down to Pred. Deox finding the return frag as the bus crew trying to walk up these stairs to get their high ground position by the point back, but they're just getting spammed down by these soldiers, and Yilin gets a 2k here. Tobbs needs to get out with Martin, but he gets juggled, goes down to Crown. It's just Alba and Martin on last. Martin is trying to link up with his scout. A spawner soldier will be coming in the form of Poison, but there's an Uber ad for the Swamp. They are going to be able to Uber in just a second now as Poison jumps onto the point. Alba is also so weak. They're both double digit HP. One goes down, but Alba and Deox find 2 frags of their own. There's a jumper coming in from Pred, but he goes down. It's just Gink and Daegu on second, and they unsuccessfully push it to last as bus crew pushes out.
It is so unfortunate. They didn't know they had Uber ad. They could have just walked in on top right and used it and kill Martin. But really nice play again from the Swamp. Just, I guess, winning the situation with a DM on that second point and killing the soldiers early so they could make their way in. And this again, I feel like this is pretty much all we've seen so far, this hold on mid. But I like the initiative from the Swamp. They really they're not happy with just sitting back. They're always trying to go for a force. And this time, Pred got it. While Ian was making a distraction in Choke, Pred just got 1 rocket into Martin and could force the medic. And now this could be a really good situation for the bus crew.
Yeah, they Uber in Cafe and now try to run through Cafe onto the mark. Here,
Poison.
Crayon getting most of the Uber, but they get launched through. Crayon going down, and it's Daegu and Choke with his demo. They're going to try to get out, but respawners are coming in. They can't really hold close to Choke, but should be able to keep hold of this midpoint as they spam those bus crew players out of Choke, and Swamp on mid and Bus on second.
Yeah, I feel like what is holding back the Swamp right now is team cohesion. It seems like they're winning with DM, but they can't really capitalize on any situation because they lack the cohesion or sync plays between the flank and the combo. So they can't really capitalize on anything. I mean, this is twice now they had a really good situation when they try to they managed to force Martin, but they can't really make anything out of it somehow. So and they managed to force Martin onto second point, and everyone from the swamp just hid in Cafe, which is pretty much the easiest place if you want to get forced. So kind of a questionable play, but now we have Crayon on Sniper, and he's gonna try to make magic happen with Deox on the other side playing Sniper too.
Yeah, they've met each other twice in their own sightlines, but neither has gone down just yet. Deox again trying to find that frag onto Crayon, his Roamer Poison helping him out as well, but no frags are found just yet. They're just kind of peeking, prodding, looking through Choke, Cafe, Flowers, just seeing what they can do, and Deox finds the first frag. He finds Pred. This means it's pick advantages for Bus Crew. They are going to try and find some extra opening. Deox wants to peek Choke a little bit further, but there's Crayon just sitting by Tetris, kind of not allowing him to go through, but there it is. The Bus Crew is going through Flowers here, and they find Gink. So they have a pick advantage to play off of, but now Alba committing on mid as the rest backs off. Alba kind of an awkward spot in the choke of the swamp. I think they know about it, but the rest of his team is going to be just sitting by their second. Alba eventually gets cleaned up, and now we are in a little number advantage for the swamp as they go into Cafe. Crayon is leading this, just seeing if he can find a pick, getting supported by the rest of the combo. Yealin is going to be jumping on top of the high ground, and Choke gets spammed off. Gets kind of caught next to it, and Tobbs trying to get that cleanup kill. Deox finds Gink as well, but there's a jump for Pred, dropping Martin, and that's going to be ad for the swamp. They only have 3 players up, so they're going to be holding this for now, but that's a drop.
Look at Crayon's position. He's on top of the church, trying to maybe get an angle onto anyone, but Tobbs is on the prowl. He's trying to jump for the medic for Daegu. He has 1 rocket onto the medic, but can't quite connect the other one. It gets cleaned up by Domo, and somehow the swamp managed to get a good situation out of a very scrappy fight onto the Bus Crew second point. And now Deox on Sniper will try to make his Sniper Rifle effective, dropping maybe Daegu, but no, he's already far back. Daegu is walking on the mid, and now the swamp has a really sizable Uber advantage.
And they need to watch out for that Deox Sniper, though. He's in a decent angle to force them very quickly into choke, so he gets forced out, spammed out by the swamp players. They're just taking all the space. Crayon even finds the frag onto Deox, so they don't even have to fear for their lives anymore. They can just walk straight onto this point. They're going to get some players on it. They have the ad. It's still up. It's only 50% for Martin, so they're going to
Swamp is really slow, though. They're really slow to be on the move, and now if Deox come back on heavy, maybe they have a chance to... Oh, Alba is already on heavy. They know about it. They know they can actually hold this if they waste enough time. I mean, Martin's already at 70% because the swamp is really slow, but Crayon gets Alba. This is a really nice entry pick. If they want to go for it, they should try right now. But Martin, the Uber ad is getting thinner and thinner, and Martin is almost going to have the Uber, and I'm not sure... they will want to try to make something out of it. By being too cautious, I think they just wasted a round here.
A bit afraid to maybe push with that sniper, and Crayon actually going down as well. There goes Pred as well, getting a headshot. Gink does find poison, but Swamp has to back out of here. And now they're going to be giving up a little bit of space to the Bus Crew. Deox is going to get a little bit more space to work with, some more angles to potentially find the frag onto Daegu or anybody else, but
look at Crayon. Look at Crayon, he's on Paru. This is what I was talking about. They know how to handle these subclasses, especially Crayon, but I hope this time they don't give too much respect to the Bus Crew, because I feel this is maybe one of the reasons the Swamp isn't in the league yet. They're respecting their opponents a bit too much, in my opinion, so maybe that Paro from Crayon is going to be the tilting factor that the Swamp needs to take the advantage in this game.
Maybe. Well, we'll see. They're just sitting on balcony. There's like 5 Swamp players right there. Yealin sacking in, going down, not really getting any damage onto Martin, and the Swamp is just kind of... This is an interesting hold with Crayon just sitting just around the corner from lower, as the rest is just sitting on high ground. I mean, Deox is on Snipe or on Spy, and he might have checked for Pyro. I'm not sure if he has. That's not the most standard thing to check at Spy, so they might not know. But
yeah, he's gonna see. He's
gonna turn the corner. He's gonna see. There it is. He sees him, and Swamp moving in from balcony. Deox wants to try, but he's just surrounded. Daegu's just surrounded by like every single swamp lane. There's not much Deox can do. He's actually on the regular Invisawatch, so he's gonna need to pick up ammo constantly to even get close to Daegu. He's forced to uncloak, and this is just kind of awkward. He wants to go fast, but this is a place where you want the cloak and dagger. He's gonna go for the jump. He's gonna go for any backstab at all, but everyone is just facing him, and he's gonna go down. Pred goes down on the right side as well, so it's a little bit of a trade there. As well, that off-class play doesn't quite work out.
Yeah, and I don't really know what Deox tried to do here. I think he just realized there's nothing he could have done on Spy anyway, so it was either dying or going back to spawn, so might as well dying trying. But yeah, this is what I was talking about. This Snake Sunshine last is really hard to push, especially when the defensive team has a gun. We can see Alba has everything set up on top right with a dispenser, teleporters, and a gun. So I don't really know what they can do right now. I think they have to sack more people and try to get a lot of classes. But as I said, they're just trying to walk in far left. They get poisoned. That's a nice pick, but they don't really can do much more than this.
Doesn't look like it. They're trying to peek the right side, but that sentry from Alba is denying them a little bit. But now they're spamming it down eventually with the Demo 2 soldiers. Demo peeking very aggressively on the right side. It's Yawn and Crayon trying to reflect the pipe into him to see if he can get that Demo frag. Not quite working out. And this is just not quite, yeah. Swamp trying to push in, but in combination with that Pyro, not really being able to do much. And just the sentry everywhere. The holds from Busker have been quite solid thus far.
It feels like the Swamp, Crayon decided to go Pyro, but without really knowing what to do with it. And now they just, all of them are busting the left side, trying to go. They get one frag onto Poison, but Alba reciprocate with the 2 picks actually onto Yagin. And Pred and Yilin dies too. Uber is finally used onto Daegu, but he's only, he's alone. No, it's Crayon and Pyro. This is really unusual. This is Prem, guys. I don't think that's what you were expected. But, oh, this is a complete disaster. There's nothing they can do. They have to give up the second point. And they may even have to give up the mid if the burst crew is quick enough. But they're not.
Oh, yeah, this is not going to quite work out. It's a shame. We're in kind of the identical situation we were before. Actually, they're going to try to move through Cafe if there's any openings. And frags are getting traded around. Crayon just walking onto the combo, kills Deox. He's going to chase down Martin. That's the 2K for the Pyro, as there are no heals left for the bus crew. And now Swamp just needs to play with their medic. They find Alba. Yawn is still on mid. It doesn't seem like they're quite aware of it. Gekking eventually spots him, gets the body shot. Yilin jumps in, is going to clean that frag up. I would presume, yep, there he goes. And that's going to be Swamp getting that med frag. They're going to be capping up second, and they're going to be moving into last.
Well, if they're aware of the concept of Uber ads, maybe this time the Swamp will try to push on this. But I think that double kill from Crayon, this is it. This is the deciding factor, and the burst crew is out of this game now.
Well, see exactly what they're going to do as they're peeking right side. They're going to go with Crayon and Doe into this Uber, trying to deal with that Sentry that's on the right side. It gets spammed down. No real frags for the Swamp just yet. Crayon just standing on the point, trying to zone everyone off the point. He's getting so much time on the point. Poison comes from behind. Eventually takes out Crayon, but there's so much time on the point. But the Swamp is mostly out of this last point now.
How?
Pushing with the sniper is quite difficult as they just have the demo sniper and they beef it. And they're on second.
Okay, so this is why they beefed. When you have the Uber ad, you want to try to take the position as quick as you can. So you usually want a demo and probably a soldier or a scout to follow up in the Uber to jump in. But here they were so confident in Crayon's abilities as Pyro, they just went with the Pyro. But the Pyro can only walk, so it didn't cover enough ground to make the Uber ad useful. So the Uber ad completely went to waste. And like when you're the burst crew, all you had to do is not dying. This is what half of the team did. Really questionable push here from the Swamp. They should have just went balls deep with that demo and a scout.
Oh no, and there goes Deox and Poison. Martin not able to Uber onto either of those players, so it's 2 down and an Uber down for the bus as the Swamp just gets this free Uber advantage, and they only have the sniper. No Pyro this time, walking into right side, trying to not pop just yet. They try and focus down that Heavy. Heavy goes down. Deox going down to a snipe from Yakink as well. They're on the point. They can't cap while they're Ubered, but they're going to try and get some more frags. Just standing on the point. Nobody from Busku who can contest, and it's going to be the Swamp finally going up 1-0.
Well, just illustrating what I just said, instead of going with the pyro, they didn't have the pyro this time. But I mean, this is so much more effective to go with a scout and a demo. This is just the perfect example here. They just went for the cap right away, took the space, took the ground, had good positions when the Uber faded, and that's a nice, finally a nice play in this game from the Swamp.
Yep.
From start to end.
Well, 10 minutes left. It's a very slim lead that Swamp has. Just one round. This mid could change it all around. Bus Crew sitting on their side of the mid, sitting by Cafe, trying to walk over the Flower side, but their players are quite weak. They're all trying to get healed by Martin, but Tobbs is eventually going to go down. Poison needs to get that health pack. It's just two players around Martin, trying to keep some kind of presence up here on mid, but Pred coming from behind, kind of just sandwiching the Bus Crew players. Pred is in a fight with Deox. Finds that fight. They actually trade frags, and now Alba getting caught by Yakin gets just Poison, and Martin stuck on the wrong side of mid. They try to get on Daegu. They pop their Uber. Daegu trying to milk this Uber as long as he can. Maybe not even pop. Poison's trying his hardest, but Daegu just staying alive. He eventually gets forced. And the Uber isn't going to be too great, but regardless, they're going to be able to at least cap up the second point.
Yeah, the winning factor here for the Swamp was one of the scouts played the high ground while everyone on the Bus Crew just was on the ground, and they couldn't do anything about it. So nice. I think that was Crayon here just on church and spamming out people, peppering them down. So kind of makes sense that the Swamp takes it. And if we said Sunshine was last that was really hard to push in, but it's really hard to push out of it too. So when you're the Swamp, I mean, you can really, like, you can happily just stay in and wait for the Bus Crew to push out of the last. But Martin has a slight Uber ad, so maybe the Bus Crew will try to make use of it.
Well, it seems like they're at least going to take this lobby area here, see if they can play off of this space that they're being given by the Swamp. The Ubers have now evened out, so there's no ad to be played off of. And, well, the players are just kind of sitting inside. Deox is going on the off class. He's going to go for the spy play once again. Last time it wasn't really that successful. And it seems like he's still on the regular Visa watch, so no cloak and dagger play. A little bit of a trade going on, a bunch of frags going wrong, and it's just going to be 2 frags to 2 frags. But the demo is down for the Bus Crew, and they are on an off class. It doesn't seem like the Swamp knows that, and they might not want to push off a bit. Deox behind. He sees the back of Daegu, who wants to go for that backstab, but Daegu constantly turning around. Deox not really able to just sit there. Spawner coming from the Swamp as well. It's 6v6 once again. Crayon spawns on Spy, though. He should know that Deox is on Spy. Deox, he just beefed the easiest backstab on a scout even. So he goes down, and now it's going to be Crayon the one who's going to be looking for the backstab, and Deox even in confusion a little bit in chat, but
pretty sure that's
didn't quite work out.
That's a strat. Deox beat on purpose so he could die and come back quicker on scouts. Because at this rate, they're just gonna sit on last forever, and they won't have time to push up to the Swamp last, and this is gonna end it. So, and here I mean, so and now Deox is on pyro. Maybe we'll try to make something. Maybe try to reflect the soldier so he forces the Uber from Daegu, but Daegu isn't getting fooled by this. He's playing on top right now.
He's in position, though. He's coming from behind. Martin isn't looking. There's the backstab. That's the drop. He gets Poison as well. That's the 2K, the full ad for the Swamp. They're going to be moving into lobby here. Pred does go down, but they're moving through Graveyard all the way through. They're already on last. So many Bus Crew players are just in lobby. There's just a Pyro on last trying to contest this. Uber gets popped. They find Yawn, but Yagan going down as well. But these Swamp players is invulnerable to getting all this damage down. It's just Tobbs. He gets cleaned up, and it's going to be the second round for the Swamp.
Well, Crayon, I guess, is just that valuable player, you know? Just making magic happen every time you're off class is... I mean, when you're the Bus Crew, you kind of have to expect something like this, because this was the only way the Swamp could make a round. They wouldn't sack anyone because they didn't have any interest in sacking, so kind of a misread of the situation here from Martin and the rest of his team, and now the Bus Crew needs 2 quick rounds to come back into that game.
Yeah, 2 quick rounds within 5 minutes. Is the third mid of the game, and it seems like a little bit of a similar approach from the Bus Crew, but the Soldier jumping in really aggressively. That's Tobbs getting onto Gillen, but Tobbs is so weak. He's going to get... Actually, he's not going to get chased down. The first frag is going to go to the Bus Crew. Eventually, a Soldier gets traded back, and the Swamp has just left this mid. They're scared of losing their medic. They're just going to hold on second as we have a
Yeah,
pause.
first cast of the season, first pause.
Nice.
But like again, this is perfectly illustrating what I was talking about previous mid when the Buzz Crew won this one because they had one solo on top, and this makes all the difference when the rest of the other team is just sitting on the ground. And yeah, when you have top on Sunshine, it's really hard for the other team to get you out of there unless the demo stickies you out. So nice read here from I think it was Tobbs on top of the point here. Instead of bombing in, he just took the high ground, and now he allows his team to be finally in the how do you say it? No winning position because they're two round down, but they finally are in control of the game and they can try to make something happen. Maybe Tobbs will off-class and come back, or because they can't really afford now to make sacks and try to force Daegu, because if they waste like 1 or 2 minutes sacking, they won't have time to make it to 2 rounds. So the best solution here is either to get a drop or to take a trade and hope to have a better trade than the other team.
Alright, well, they're trying to unpause right now. It seems like Alba crashed, so that's what the pause is about. They probably have gotten him in the server now, judging from the little pause, unpause here. The unpause coming in now. So, again, Buzz Crew won the mid. It's now 5 minutes for them to get 2 more rounds, and it's even Ubers, so this is going to be quite awkward to push at, or push into second. They seem to be going to Flowers. They're going to just try it right now. Scout trying to make their way through. That's Deox. The Uber getting popped first by Daegu, and now Martin popping his own as well. But Alba going down means first frags to the Swamp player. Numbered advantage for the Swamp. And the Buzz Crew isn't even really in on second. They have some players like behind, but they're trying to collapse now. Soldiers jumping in. Poison finds a frag. Tobbs helping him out. A lot of damage coming through. Dealing Korea on Daegu. All go down. Domo's caught in Graveyard. Goes down. It's just Gink on last. 5 Buzz Crew players going to be going into last when they tap the second point up. They're moving through Graveyard already. Yawn and Martin are in. Poison coming from right side. Needs to help out his demo with that scout right now. Poison just electing to stand on the point. Alba coming in. Oh, the pipes coming into Rockets, and it's going to be the cap for the Buzz Crew. It's going to be 2-1.
Well, yeah, that's they took the better trade, and that play from Deox just playing in backline kind of caused havoc into the enemy line, so that was well played from him. And yeah, one quick round, they need another one to tie this up and maybe take a third one, but really nice reaction here from the Buzz Crew, finally taking things into control and trying to be more aggressive than when they have been so far.
3.5 minutes left. Alba's going to be a bit late to this mid as he crashed and had to reconnect, so he's going to be in the spawn room as the Buzz Crew is trying to make their way into mid, but just down that scout. Seems like they're electing to just stay on second and get that Uber up, but
well,
I don't know about
really
you, but this is
to
not
do that?
ideal.
I don't think they can afford to do that, because now they're giving the control of the game to the Swamp, and it's going to be really tough for them, for the Buzz Crew to push out at the second point, unless they have something in mind and I'm not aware of. But yeah, I think they should have like tried to go for mid, delayed it a bit, and wait for Alba to come in, because now Poison's dead. It's 5-6. They haven't and they have they're forced in a really bad position. Deox is dead as well. This is really bad now for the Buzz Crew. Really questionable play here on this mid. And now the Swamp has all the time in the world to just take the ground, take control of the game, and winning it.
And they're moving through Cafe with this full Uber advantage that they do have. Crayon walking in, a soldier trying to sack in. That's going to be Tobbs. He gets air piped by Domo. He's going to go down. The rest of the Buzz Crew just sitting inside, trying to spam, somehow get a force onto Daegu, but it's not going to work out as Swamp caps up the point. 2 minutes left. The Buzz Crew is going to have to find a way to get out of this last point and get onto the last point of the Swamp.
Well, they will. I think I'm assuming they're going to wait for Martin to have his Uber and then push out of this. They can't really afford to do anything else. The Swamp is happy to just sit on second and wait. And I'm interesting to see. I think Deox and Pyro maybe trying to clear the sticky so his team can walk in freely. Kind of an interesting play with the, how is it called? The
Scorch shot.
Yeah, thank you. I don't play Pyro anymore. And but this isn't looking really good for the Buzz Crew. They're just poking around, just picking the doors, but they're not really pushing. They have one frag onto Pred, so this could be the entry pick they needed in order to push into it. But he's trying to. Oh, okay, they're finally going in. Yeah, it's 1 minute 30. They don't have any much time left.
Yeah, Alba flank coming in right now. He tries to get a meat shot onto Daegu, but doesn't really get any damage. Deox trying to get onto the combo as well is going to get completely collapsed upon. Buskrew gets forced, actually trading with the Swamp, but they are down 2 players, so the Swamp is going to be advantageous in this trade. Yaking trying to go for the backhand, but Tobbs cleans him up. It's now needs to be a dry push from the Buskrew. They're going to be going inside, into lower, peeking around, trying to just get onto the second point. All the Swamp players on the high ground. A soldier jumps in. That's going to be Tobbs. John is going to be shooting his stickies over Poison, trying to get onto Pred, who's going for the back half. A lot of players from the Buskrew are on second, but the Swamp is just giving this up. Pred and Poison in a little bit of a an equalizer or escape plan 1v1 on last. Poison's going to win that, but the Buskrew moving into mid. They need to cap these points as fast as they can. They're doing a good job of stacking these points as the Swamp is just giving this all
stack.
up.
Yeah, exactly. They're walking forward. This is the correct play here. They have to make to take the ground as soon as they can. The Ubers are going to be the same. They need to push the last before Daegu gets his Uber, otherwise he's just dead. So looks like Yon is aware of that. Maybe they want to try to go in.
Ooh, they're taking really long. It's 10 seconds left. They need to move in. Tobbs goes onto the heavy on the left side. The combo coming in on the right side from the Buskrew. They can't really get it because of this Pyro. The timer's going to go 1-2, 2-1, 0. It's going to be the win for the Swamp, winning the map 2-1.
Whoa, that was tight. Kind of unfortunate. I think that crash from Alba kind of ruined the momentum. Even though the decision not to play mid wasn't correct in a million years, it kind of broke the momentum. But I feel like if the Buskrew took a little bit more initiative on this game and tried to make it a bit faster, that would have suited them better. Yeah, suited them better. So don't correct me, you're Dutch, you're not English. And but that was a fair attempt at the end. But I feel like the Buskrew realized a bit too late that they shouldn't give that much respect to the Swamp, and that if they want to take points out of this game, they really need to be proactive. Whoa, I said proactive, I'm nuts.
Ooh, big words. I mean, you are TurboTabs, you are British, you know, you have a big vocabulary.
Exactly.
You want to go and look at some good old stats, some
Ooh,
numbers?
there's a number I like on this, Ox. Look at Degu's, he died once.
Ooh, one
That's
death for every round lost. Nice.
But apart from that, we can see the pretty even look. Oh, look! I didn't see. Look at Domo. He's just ruling this game with the 8K compared to Yon. I don't even see Yon. Yeah, you can see the difference. I think Domo made the difference here. Decisive factor between the two Demoments.
I mean, higher numbers, same amount of deaths, but yeah, it definitely seems like it. But those frags from Crayon and Yilin, though, like 19, 15, it's pretty fat numbers. I mean, the scouts from Buskrew seem to have done pretty decent as well with the 14-14 tie there, but yeah, as you said, I mean, this is definitely like a... Oh, whoa, I misclicked my push to talk key there, but it's quite the stalemate log. Because, you know, it's relatively even. It's all, you know, based on like one decisive error, and then it kind of gets rolled, but yeah.
Well, you can see Crayon as well, kind of MVP of that game with the half classes, and that winning push on Scout, like going 19 for 9 is pretty good for him. And Yilin topping with 10 air shots, pretty...
Ooh.
Overall stat going in favor of the Swamp, but I feel like the Buskrew, they're not missing much to take the second map. Probably more aggression and less respect given to the Swamp, I think would be pretty good. Maybe the map, weather factor too. It's kind of relatively new map in the map pool, so maybe on Gully Watch there would be more at ease, if I may say so. But it could be as well the same for the Swamp too. So it should be once again a really close map on Gully Watch. But I can't help but think if the Buskrew capitalized a bit more on the Swamp mistakes when they're overextended, they could have had a better outcome for them in this first map.
I'm kind of sad. I predicted a 2-1 scoreline for the Buskrew, but instead it's a 2-1 scoreline for the Swamp. So I had the scoreline correct, but just not the winning team. I mean, I guess this is why I'm the play-by-play caster, you know?
Whoa, you say that. I didn't even say anything.
Well, you said you said the Swamp was gonna win, but that was like,
Yeah, but because I
yeah,
have more friends on the Swamp than on the bus crew.
this is true.
And I feel like a Swamp is a more friendly place than a bus. So, maybe
I
I'm
don't.
just biased. It's because I don't like showers. I don't know.
This is a very
Remember, I
interesting
am
thing.
Turbo.
Oh yeah, this is the famous French analysis caster Turbo Tabs. But seems like one of the teams have already readied up. We're waiting on the Swamp to ready up, possibly doing a bit of a strat talk. But yeah,
What are you feeling on this one, Ipaya?
how am I feeling on this map? Well, I mean, I still have faith that the bus crew can pull out at least one map win. I'm trying to think. I feel like this is going to be a bit of a more decisive game. As in, like, I feel like it's going to be more rounds. I feel like it might be like 4-2. This is more just a gut feeling, not really based on the map, but I feel it, 4-2, 4-2 for Bus Crew.
Okay, I can see that coming actually, because if Alba steps up and plays sniper on this one, which is way more sniper friendly than Sunshine, if the Swedish guy can connect on the heads, it's probably going to help his team quite a lot. And I can see the Bus Crew taking it, and they actually took that map during the Prem qualifiers. They won 3-0. But I feel like the Swamp is just way too... They're above, I think, slightly above the Bus Crew, and I think they're going to take it too. And I think they're going to take it 3-0, as an answer to that 3-0 loss during the Prem qualifiers.
Ooh, I like the role reversal. I like it. That would be the perfect storyline. Just reverse 3-0. That would be pretty good, but I'm really liking this chat. They're just apparently Gink is eating some chicken and is just speaking with his mouth full. So they're waiting on him to finish his chicken, and then we can actually play this game. You need to get the energy back.
Exactly.
Just eat some quick food break.
He's channeling energy so he can amaze us with we actually haven't seen a lot of Gink. I was kind of expecting him to be the most valuable player on the Swamp, but Crayon took that spot right away. But I want to see Gink shining and showing us he's the best Chinese player in Prem. And only one, but...
Well, we'll see. We're going into the mid of the second map here. This is Gully Watch. The last map with Sunshine went 2-1 in the favor of the Swamp. This is the second map. Let's see who's going to go on top for this first mid. Tobbs on the low ground. Yon trying to make his way up on the right side. Deox and Poison actually get onto Crayon. That's the first frag going towards the Bus Crew. Yilin jumping in. Pred trying to jump in as well, but Pred gets denied. So his bomb is a bit desynced from Yilin. It seems like the Bus Crew is at least having better position on this mid, but there goes Martin, and the heals or the HP is very low on the Bus Crew. They seem to just have decided to abandon mid. They're going to just go straight into second, try to get onto Daegu. Deox actually in lobby trying to chase, but he's not finding anything. Poison on second, thinks better of it. He goes back, and now the Bus Crew players will eventually come back to mid, cap that point up, and then they'll have to hold in waiting for this.
That was kind of unfortunate Martin died here, but finally some aggression from coming from the Bus Crew. And I think we can pretty safely say that Alba is watching the stream because he's already on Sniper.
Well, we did see him in the chat a little bit between maps, so maybe, but Bus Crew is kind of giving up mid at this point. Not much they can do. Alba's hiding in elbow. He has been spotted. He does find the body shot onto Crayon, so he will find a frag, but maybe not quite the frag he was looking for. Just trading with a scout opponent. Swamp moving on through choke. They are trying to just make it in as clean as possible. The Bus Crew up top. Top is by Shutter, but they can't really jump in. Daegu not really in the right spot for them to jump in on. And Bus Crew backs off into last.
Tobbs didn't really have to die here. I mean, it was really hard for him. Oh, actually, Scouts Gink tried to go for the force into Martin, but it gets cleaned up by Poison and Deox. But Tobbs didn't really have to die here. It was really hard for him to get the force. And I see Crayon on Spy trying maybe to get that 2K, the magic 2K that happened on Sunshine. Kind of a forward hold here from the bus crew. I don't think this is what they should do right now. Like, this is gonna amend to anything for them. They might as well go back to last and set up a defense. Deox is on Spy too. Maybe he has checked for Crayon. Yeah, it looks like he's in spawn. And these guys are Spiral, so I'm here. Oh, he walked into Crayon.
He doesn't know. Oh, he doesn't know. Yellen jumps him, right? In. He's going for the distraction. Martin's only like 60 HP. Crayon could go for the revolver shots, but elects not to. He just lets Martin go for that resup, and I feel like this is going to be one of those Spy plays where like we have to tune in like 2 minutes, then something will actually happen, but currently Crayon in a very unfavorable position.
Yeah, and Tobbs is aware of it. Tobbs knows there's just why I saw him spam. And Tobbs is actually running the Conjurer, so maybe some kind of re-push in the back of his mind. We heard a Pyro in the ends.
Oh, Deox ran into Crayon. Crayon really weak. Oh, he's gonna
not
survive. Dying. This man, he does not. Oh, he gets shot by Spam, and he's still alive. I don't know how this man does it, but yeah, and he seems.
Well, you know, he's a good Islander player. He narrowly lost the best card of the season to Fun, so that's how good Crayon is at playing Highlander. But now that they know for sure that he's on Spy.
He just uncloaked on the pipe. Oh, he's dead. He's extremely dead.
Martin again doesn't use this. The second time now that he's getting burned by Yellen, and with 50 HP, he's still not using. Really nice hold here from Martin, and with 2 players down onto the swamp, maybe the bus crew can try to make something out of it. But they have to push from top, and it looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, moving on through, Pred going down after trading with Alba. Poison goes down to Domo. A lot of swamp players on the low ground by second, but they're effectively trying to spam out these bus crew players. Deox makes it through lobby, trying to fight. Crayon here finds one for. Oh, the arrow, the long range arrow from Martin drops Daegu. There is the first death of Daegu for this map, and the bus crew is going to just take full advantage of this. They're going to just take this second point for free. They're going to be trying to make their way into mid. There is a Gink sniper in forward spawn. He's going to try to find that medic pick, though the med is going through choke and not big door, so he might get like a scout pick. And
they went drop down. Now they're working on the floor.
He's been spotted. He's out. He's back spawning, so that's going to be a free point once again for the bus crew.
That is the bus crew team that knows about Uber ads, because we could realize that the Swamp didn't really know about this mechanic in the game. And Gink sitting forward, get one nice entry pick onto Deox, and looks like the bus crew doesn't want to push, even though they're only 1 dead. I mean, they have 50% ad still. They really should try to make something happen. Poison peeking me to. Oh no! Don't tell me they're just resetting on mid. Oh no, they're not. This shouldn't be resetting on mid now. They should have pushed.
Well, they want to play this safe. They want to just take the points they can and then just give it all up. But Gink finds Tobbs. It's going to be point number ad for the Swamp. Deox on Sniper actually as well, trying to find a response frag. Pred actually goes down to a sticky trap. Alba going down to 1v1 to Crayon. No scope from Deox onto Crayon. Players being traded around, but it's even trade, so neither team will really push off of it. Just the Sniper's going to try to peek aggressively off of it, but this isn't the greatest plays. Both Snipers just want to peek choke, which is not exactly the ideal angle to find the big picks, but I mean, I guess they'll try anyway.
So this is how you get the sense this is an official. I think in a regular PCW, Buzzcrew would have pushed even with 1 down, because the Uber ad could have been enough. And Domo peeks even though they know they have a sniper. This is a nice play here from Deox, taking the demo down. This could open things up for the bus crew, and I see a scout. Alba is on the top. He's on the backline. He's probably trying to go for the mech. He's just above Daegu. He's dropping around the med, and he's forcing it, but somehow Martin used 2. So kind of a miscommunication here, I feel, within the bus crew lines. And the Uber trade is trying to go in. Is looking like it's going in favor of the bus crew again. Daegu is really weak over the point. He's completely isolated from all of his players, and he finally dies to a rocket from Tobbs. So now Alba needs to play closer to his medic, try to keep him alive. He's not.
Soldiers are so weak though. They're both 20 HP. 2 long range scattergun shots will take them out. And definitely this second point is now for the bus crew. And with the ad, they're going to cap it up. Daegu spawns it just now. It's going to be 30% ad to the bus crew.
Do they know about it? I'm not
not.
making any predictions anymore. Deox is still on the sniping gun. Gink is building a gun now behind the crates on the right side when you're in Swamp last. I see Pyro trying to build with the with the gun, a Pyro gun, okay. This is unheard of, I think. It's a kind of a good act, 40% Uber ad, so is the bus crew trying to push out of this. They're trying to take down the gun. This is the first step to a nice and easy push, but they don't really manage to get the gun down. They finally use on top right on the Pyro, on the Scout and the Demo Man. But everyone is hiding onto the spawn, and now Crown is coming out of it. He's getting one frag with the Pyro. And the Domo gets another frag on the last. It's still looking bad for the bus crew, and they wisely decide to get out of here. I'm sorry, I'm an analyst, but I did some play-by-play. I'm gonna whip myself.
It's fine. It's fine. We don't have to listen to the instruction from Turbo Tabs.
But I am Turbo Tabs. I'm really confused.
Oh, sorry. Right. You're not even following up your own instructions. Like,
well,
what?
How
can you lead TFTV if you can't even keep yourself in check? But there's an Uber coming in. What? He just died as he Ubered. I don't know what just happened, but he's dead. And the spawn needs to go into last.
He tried to go for the soul, even though the Uber was amazingly good. If he had kept it on the Scout, what is this? I'm not sure what is happening right now.
I don't know how that. I mean, this is things just happen, and sometimes it just doesn't things happen at the wrong moment, and that is the worst thing that could possibly happen. But the bus crew now is very happy about this. They Uber in through River, try to get onto that Sentry. Sentry goes down. Domo's in front of the point. Tops through water, gets the frag onto him, and he just stacks the point. All the players from the swamp were in spawn. They tried to get on the point in time, but they could not, and bus crew goes up 1-0.
Well, weirdly, when your medic dies, when he has you're in a bad position after this. But let's go. When you go to that hole, the way the swamp hold, all hiding in spawn. So what the bus crew did was really well. They just took position at the ground and then played the point. So nice read here from the bus crew, and this is the first round for the blue team.
Moving on into the swamp side of mid once again, but top goes down early, but Alba finds the response frag, and a lot of players from the swamp on the low ground. Soldiers bombing in now. Bus crew does not have positioning and is trying to get out of Big Door, but Martin's combo is just dying in front of him. He gets the Salt to Keon, though. He's going to save himself, as Poison is the only bus crew player still in on mid. He's on a bit of a flank play, and Martin somehow has Uber ad.
Yeah, Martin is having a really good game right now. He's probably the best player on his team at the moment, and with the Uber ad, maybe they can try to push out of this. Poison dives to a sticky trap, but this is probably enough for the bus crew to try to push out of this. I mean, no one from the swamp is on the second point, so they should take the ground and try to fight back. But they're really slow once again. Look at them. They're not on second yet.
We need to watch out for this Crown Sniper. He's going to peek from choke here. No real eyes from the bus crew yet. They now have spotted him, and Giannis kind of intimidated by him. Doesn't really want to peek his angle just yet.
Sniper's there.
Oh, Tob's in. Yeah, the Crown is just kind of getting all this space, and bus crew
They
doesn't
don't
really
know about
what
him.
they're doing.
They don't know that Crayon is hiding
Oh,
behind
and
the
he's
rock.
getting the free angle to Martin. That's the body shot. And he's going to drop his Uber, not knowing that he was by the rocks there. And that's going to be the drop. No heals for the bus crew as the swamp is down players, so they're waiting a little bit for their spawners to come in. But Alba on a bit of a flank through elbow, trying to get onto the mid. They're trying to just do this dry push into mid, and they're finding frags. Zealand goes down. Alba finds the meat shot onto Daegu, forces his Uber off, and now the bus crew gets to just back off.
That was a nice salvation play here, but...
Oh, Alba's on Daegu. He finds one. He finds two shot. There's the third. Daegu goes down. It's going to be heal ad for the bus crew.
Well, this is how you make a bad situation becoming a really good one. I mean, I guess that play from Krion was good, but really you can't let that happen. And it's all because the bus crew was really slow to take their position onto second. But now this is completely over and erased from memories, because the bus crew is pushing with a... They're going to push, I assume, with a sizable Uber advantage onto the swamp's second point. And everyone from the swamp is just on top trying to get this Uber as fast as they can, but this is still a 40% ZSAD.
Yep. It seems like Buskroot is building this Uber up. They're going to be moving their way through choke soon. Pred is above choke, so they're going to have to check that. Watch out for his little play. He actually just backs off. He is gone.
Read,
all right.
Hipfire, nice read.
But they're just going to give up second like this. Well, you know, I can't read minds, and sometimes they do unexpected things like walking away, and the Buskroot gets the second point for free. The Swamp is on last. They do have their Uber, so it's going to be an Uber v Uber hold, but I mean, Buskroot inching closer to getting that second round.
Yeah, I feel again, Lack and Sunshine, both of these teams are giving each other way too much respect, and they're just not taking the ground when they should. In the end, I think it's Alba is on the cap trying to go. He gets the NG. Alba gets the cap. He just went from Riverside onto the point. Once he's 1v1 versus the NG, and no one contests him beside I think that was Gink. And what was this round from? I think Alba just after killing Degu, he just soloed this round for his team.
Well, that is one way to win a round, and it's gonna be putting Buskroot in the 2-0 lead right now, and only 16 minutes left on the timer. So we're about the halfway point as we're going into this third mid. The Swamp moving up through Albo, trying to make it into their side of mid. Albo going down. Yilin is very weak by Big Door. Solid jumping in, forcing out most of the Buskroot players out of this mid. They just can't walk through. Hobbs finds the demo frag though, which prompts the Buskroot players to peek into choke once more. Prez about to jump in though, he gets onto Deox. Deox is very weak, and the rest is just going to get collapsed upon. It's just Yawn and Martin. Alba just spawned, but he's not really going to have much effect on this, as the combo of the Buskroot is going to be leaving the Swamp, capping up mid. Ooh, they're trying to contest. Oh, what an arrow! Jesus, that's the second time. This DM on this man is insane, but they are going to give up second, but the full ad now for Buskroot.
They were, again, players from the Swamp were so disconnected from one another. Degu was kind of on his own between, like, one of his solo was in choke while the scout was chasing forward, so he had no one to heal. He caught a random pipe, and then the arrow followed and killed him, so that was kind of unlucky, but this just illustrates the way the Swamp plays. It's kind of hectic. The aggression on mid was really good, but then they lost track of what was happening. And I see, once again, a Pyro in the hands of... who's playing Pyro right now? Is this Deox? Yeah, Deox.
Interesting play. Crayon is in! Crayon is just getting, like, free shots onto Martin, and this time he's not going to deliver. He goes down, so no chaos sniper play this time as the Buskroot moves into mid. They watch for that sticky trap. It gets pseudo cleared by Tobbs, and eventually gets dead, and they just get mid for free.
Okay, this is where my brain is too small to comprehend, because I don't know in what situation a Pyro here is better than a Scat, but I guess this is working out quite well for the Buskroot. Creon is on Snapper in the forward spawn. I don't think he's been spotted yet, but now the Buskroot, they don't have any incentive to push, and as I say that, they are trying to make their way into Big Door.
Oh, Deox going for the flank play, went through lower. He's gonna go all the way into top here. I don't know if he's been spotted. Yep, he's fighting Pred. Oh, the Pyro, the soldier counter, but he gets headshot by Gink from lobby. That's a creative way of dealing with a Pyro, and that flank play has now been cancelled out as the Buskroot is back on mid. They're actually getting pressured really hard. Tops goes down to Stickies. Crayon is in, Pred's in. They're just giving up all this space, and the combo's kind of caught on by the choke side of the Swamp. They get out through Big Door, but they've just given up mid.
The choke side of the Swamp. This is where it gets stuck.
Yeah.
And
great words.
Gink wins the sniper duel against Deox. He gives his life away for this, but Ubers are being traded now, and Domo really doesn't want to be caught out of position here. This could be a collapse for the Swamp. Yeah, it looks like they can get fragged. Fred is the first casualty. Yeden retaliates when the frag on poison, and now Crayon dies as well. So this is a 3v4, slightly in favor of the Buskroot in my opinion, because Yeden was weak, but now he's been arrowed because arrows are in the game, and the Swamp is just taking this fight because of their DM.
Yeah, Buskroot has to back off and go on last. It's even Ubers, so it's not that bad of a situation for the Buskroot, all things considered. They can just sit on last and then just challenge the Swamp to try and break the hold. It seems like the option, or the answer they have, is the Yadgink sniper, which we haven't really seen much of. We've seen him get that one headshot onto Deox, but now he needs to find maybe a demo, maybe a Medicam. It's one of those big picks.
And this should be another stalemate here. Tobbs is running the Baton's backup in case he can fully load it, but don't really know. Like, the boss crew, they don't have any incentive to do anything. This is all is on Yadging's shoulders now. Or should I say Ayadging, because I've been noticed about it.
The Gink, one might say, peaks
And he
balcony
dies.
and
Ayad
goes
Gink
down
dead.
quite quickly. Seems to be a bit read by the bus crew. They're ready for the sniper plays. Alba's gonna go for his own little big peek through top. He sees Daegu, tries to get the headshot. Ooh, Daegu crouches, he misses. And Daegu lives to tell another tale as the bus crew goes back to last.
And this is TF2. Deox is on spy. Is he just gonna check for off classes, or is he actually going for a play? Looks like he's just checking for off classes. And the only Gink is playing Pyro now. We've seen quite a lot of Pyro, I guess. Thank you update for bringing the into the metagame. And this is gonna be Pyro is more standard in Gully Wash. You usually want to run it onto Riverside, onto Lower, and try to blast the people away from the base. But it's just, maybe it's something up their there's the swamp. They have something different up their sleeves.
Well, he seems to be spamming with the detonator through main here. He seems to just be kind of trying to annoy the bus crew to death. Not sure how that's gonna work out, but
Well, I'm being annoyed bored to death, so that's working.
well, yeah, but that's the bus crew's work. Gink is the one that needs to be entertaining. He needs to find the picks so that his team can push in. The timer's running. I see 11 minutes. They need to find at least 2 rounds, and Pred is in. He is in, and is quite definitely dead. Crayon going down. Pred is actually just in secret. The team seems to have forgotten about him. He eventually gets cleaned up. Now the Swamp has to back off. Their players are getting kind of caught. They're so weak, and it seems like the Pyros is going to get a free walking onto Dig. He finds Domo as well. And the Swamp in Big Door, this Uber is just not going to get anything done. They do force Martin, who tries to chase with this Uber, but they can't really do much. They're going to cap up second. I hear a banner being popped by Tobbs, the Baton's
backup, and they're going to make use of it, trying to burst out of the Big Door. Kind of a really interesting play here from Tobbs. They get one frag onto Pred that was just hiding behind the walls. Domo is on his own on the ground. He can't really commit, but like he lays in a lot of damage here. Alba dies. He was a bit too cocky on Pyro and Choke, and now the Swamp, they may want to try something because they're 2 rounds down, and they're taking the haze onto Big Door with the Pyro.
Well, they have a lot of space here. Nobody from the bus crew really actively holding it. They're more just like spotting if there's anyone in Victor, and yeah, the Swamp takes this space. Most of the players from the bus crew are up top now, and that gives a lot of space for people to jump in. Yilin, Pred both get in through Choke. Martin surfs a rocket from Pred to get into safety with his Uber up, but Pred is behind. Tobbs going down as well. It's 5v5. It's a bit chaotic as the bus crew players are kind of all over the place with this hold, 5-player hold with the Pyro. Swamp peeking Choke. Domo, Crayon, Gink want to see what's going on. Domo's going to get caught by Deox. He's going to get taken out. He finds a pipe with the DX, but can't finish it off. Poison finds Pred trading in Big Door as well. And the bus crew trying to just see if they can make it through here. Moving on through Choke, doing a little bit of a trade here. Trying to just get this. Oh, he drops Deox. They're in this Uber. Martin trying to get out through top. Gink is on the chase, trying to find frags on any of these overextended bus crew players. There goes Tob. He's chasing so far. Jan finds the pipe. He's almost going to be burning alive. Barely survives thanks to his medic. And the Swamp successfully takes back second.
Well, I think we know who's the dominant Pyro in the pack right now. This is Gink. He's just making magic happen. And now this is a 20 ad for Daegu. I'm not sure he's quite aware of that, but this is something they could work with. Trying to go, they try pushing this, trying maybe to go for Martin or the point, and they don't go for any of it. They just die. Pred just bombed in spawn, but I'm not really sure what was the point here. And I'm don't really know what they're gonna do now because they have a Pyro, but Ubers are gonna be the same, and a Pyro alone shouldn't be enough to push this last.
I have to wonder what the logic is of jumping a soldier, sacking a soldier through river when there's a heavy and a pyro on the enemy team. He gets completely denied, gets air blasted, and just completely destroyed.
Ooh, Alba being once again kind of greedy
Alba.
into lobby. He was on his own, disconnected from the rest of his team, and the pyro dies to random sticky trap. I think that was a blind dead. I'm not really sure, or maybe he just went into shutter door and died, but. And that's probably maybe for the best for Gink. I mean, he was kind of stuck with his pyro, and now he can come back on sniper or spy and try to break the stalemate. And with poison dead, maybe there's an opening here for Yilin to try, or Pred to try to go for the medic.
They can try, but the heavy and the pyro are always ready to try and deny. Pred is in river now. He might attempt, but Alba's just reflecting his rockets. He can't even get the initial jump in, as he has to back off from that, and the swamp seems to be running out of ideas a little bit.
No. There's a fresh new idea on the field right now. Gink is still on pyro, but now he's running the Phlogisinator.
But he's dead.
Well, that was a rip. There was an idea behind it, like trying to get the charge up so they could get a crit, but it didn't quite work well because he's dead. And Deox is on spy. I'm assuming once again he's just gonna wait for King to release some check for classes, and I think the bus crew knows now that Gink is back on pyro once again. But yeah, kind of a lack of creativity here from the swamp. 6 minutes 30 seconds remaining, and they're still 2 rounds down, so they have to make something happen in the next few minutes.
They're trying to trade through shutter. Gink on that Phlogisinator, just trying to get onto the medic, but they've just walked out, and he's been just juggled up in the air, and he goes down. The rest of his team has completely abandoned him. Everyone's in Victor already, and the bus crew with their full ad are just going to be casually making their way through. Alba, you know, walking in with his heels through top, reflecting some rockets from Pred, reflecting some pipes from Domo, and the swamp is trying to contest this a little bit. There's actually a bit of a play going on through lower. Pred goes down. Yilin actually and Crayon all get cut off. Yilin is still alive in lobby, trying to fight poison. He goes down after finding the frag on poison, but it's a little bit inconsequential as the bus crew is going to be capping this point up, and the attackers, the swamp, are on mid.
I'm not really sure what we're watching right now. There's been a pyro on the field for the past 10 minutes, I think. And now this is another Uber ad for bus crew. They're trying to use it. Crayon is back on sniper. It's gonna be on big door. I don't think the bus crew is aware of that Crayon is sniping from big door. He get a shot, but Uber is used from Martin after a bomb from Yilin. And now if the swamp, they're 2 dead on the other side of the team, on the other team, so they may as well try to make something happen. Walked with the number advantage and probably take that second point for free. That was kind of a nice play here from the swamp, just juking that Uber, and that force from Yilin just came at the right time. And now finally they can push with a sizable Uber advantage.
Yep, the bus crew does have this Crayon sniper still, so he's looking around if he can find any initial frags as the rest of his team is trying to set up for this last push. Daegu just buffing all his players right now. They seem to be looking to go through shutter. It's going to be onto the Gink and Domo. Gink finds Deox. That's the first frag. Top fights Crayon in river. Fights that frag. He finds Pred as well. There's a jump coming in from Yilin onto the combo. He finds the heals, and now all the players from Busker are just falling like flies. It's just Yon behind the point against 4 Swamp players. He gets overwhelmed. That's going to be the first round for the Swamp.
This situation sounds so familiar. This is like the first map, but just in reverse. I guess nice play again, yeah, from the Swamp. Just what happened on mid, just capitalized into a round here, and now they need to take this mid and try to win this run quickly if they want to actually win the map. I'm expecting some aggression, but as I said, I see Yon on the ground.
Let's see. The Swamp is moving on up. They are on the Busker side of mid. Swamp is on the... I've swapped up my words. It doesn't matter. The mid's still going on. Soldiers jumping in very aggressively onto the Swamp side, onto the combo, but they're not really getting much damage in. Players are weak, asking for arrows, but get his arrow at time. He goes down. It's Deox, Yon, and Martin for the bus crew. And Martin's trying to somehow Houdini's way out. He finds a weak Yilin. Oh, but he gets launched and then gets air splashed by Pred. That is a almost wipe for the bus crew. Full ad for the swamp. Yana's the only one to get out, and it's looking quite scary.
This is exactly what the Swamp needed in order to come back to that game. An aggressive mid from Yiden and Pred with nice rockets from both of the soldiers. And now this is a fully charged Uber. Martin barely spawned, and there's a level 1 gun on the right door. But the Swamp, they really don't want to waste any time here. They just have to buff everyone and make it a really clean push. And they probably have the time to go in top right with the Scout and a Demo Man.
Oh, going river. There's the Scout. There's the Demo Man. As you said, going in. They're onto the heavy very quickly. Deox focused down. They're trying to get the sentry as well. Both are dead. Their sticks on the point. Yan and Seeker just holding that point down. Uber has now faded. And now the bus crew needs to find a response to the frags that the Swamp is gone. But they're just kind of getting caught. Yan goes down in Secret. No sticks on the point. Alba goes down. There's Top. Smart
so
and
clean,
Poison.
really clean.
Fran plays the point.
Yeah, really clean here from the Swamp. Kind of methodical for once. They just went for the heavy and the gun that died really early, and then they just took it slow, you know, get the heals, get the frags that was in their reach, and that's now a really quick round. And this is going to be interesting. I think the Swamp has the momentum now, and this is going to be really hard for the bus crew to react to this and retaliate in due time.
Cut in really aggressively. He finds the temple already. That's such a big frag for the Swamp. But Yilin and Pred go down. Now no soldiers for the Swamp. Gink going down. It's Daegu, Domo, and Crayon trying to just walk over the point and get out. And this is going to be a mid. Daegu's actually getting chased by all the DM classes from the bus crew, just trying to get this full Uber ad. Daegu goes down. Now they're going back to mid, putting Deox capping on mid. And that's the mid for the bus crew.
What an answer from the bus crew. Just, I mean, the opening was really good from Swamp with Pred killing John really early, but then Poison hitting crazy airshot onto Yilin and then a clean up with another rocket. And now this is like again the exact reverse situation. The bus crew is going to be pushing last with a sizable Uber advantage. There's a gun in the hands of Gink, and the Pyro Ubers use on main onto a Scout and a Demo, but they can't really know where the gun is. Deox dives onto the point, try to go for the Demo. Gun is finally taken down, but this is looking really bad for the bus crew now. They're 3 up all in main. They have to come back and reset, and they really don't want to die here. It's 30 seconds. They can't lose the map anyway, so they're gonna wait for their spawners and try to come back in, try to make it around.
Well, spawners are coming in soon. Tobbs Alba now spawn. They're gonna take a while to get to lobby, but they need to be moving soon. It's 15 seconds left for the bus crew. They have a free push into last, and they are eyeing up that balcony entrance of this shutter area. They're not really sure where to go. Pred eventually goes down. Alba and Yan have already died. This push is already dead in the water. It's not looking good. Uber gets popped by Daegu on the point. He taunts. It's going to be 2-2. It's going to be golden cap for the second map.
Well, it's pretty much pretty fair for both teams compared to what we saw. I think both of them had their moments. I really like the aggression from the Swamp in the second half of the game, especially during mids. But that answer from the bus crew when they kind of the same on what happened on Sunshine. I mean, we were talking about how the bus crew just react more aggressively in the second half of Sunshine. This is pretty much what they did in that last mid, and it could have been converted into a round, but focus fire was kind of poor. But now this is a golden cap, and I hope you people have some of these players on your fantasy league, because this is extra points.
Ah, extra points. Perfect. I don't have any of these players on my fantasy team.
Me neither. Still. Let's shut it down now.
Well, let's see what happens on this mid. Seems like Alba wants to go aggressive on the right side, but he doesn't really have much success doing so. Poison is on the point, has that height advantage, has to give it up, gets spammed off. It's a little bit of a safe mid from both teams. Nobody really committing too far, just kind of trading control of the high ground, the nipple on mid, but eventually soldiers commit, and demos and soldiers are all going down, but very bad HP for the Swamp, getting healed as the bus crew is trying to establish some position
Pred
in
is
here.
coming behind from the choke.
Poison tries to deal with him, and Martin goes down. That's no heals for the bus crew. They're sacking in.
Alba!
But Alba gets in. Oh, and Poison gets 2 frags of his own. Oh, and Poison's trying to 1v1 these 2 players. He goes down, but Wow, that's a really late death from Daegu. So that's going to be a heal ad for the Busker for the next like, 7 seconds.
Was that a drop? I'm pretty sure I heard the drop noise, but may have been fooled by the game. But what a mid! I was really back and forth. You mentioned how both of these teams played it quite passively. They knew like if they had mid quite in a really heavy fashion, this would have meant a round for the other team. But both of them kind of played it really slow, and now the swamp really wisely. They know they don't have the people to hold into mid, so they're just playing back. The Ubers are kind of the same, so when you're the swamp here, you really don't want to give a free ground to the bus crew.
Oh, swamp has gone. Oh, there's a bit of a sack going in. That's Tobbs who's in. He's just shooting DM class. He's on Domo. He goes down. No frags for 2 soldier deaths for the bus crew. That's not exactly what you're looking for. And the swamp is trying to move off this. Everyone just wants to go through choke. It's 5 players all trying to go through choke at the same time. Oh, what a headshot from Crayon onto Alba. That's 3 players down for the bus crew. There's no way they can realistically hold this. They're backing out. The swamp takes mid. They've at least progressed closer that they have point advantage, I guess, in this gold cap.
Yeah, Gallon just has the freeway to kill everyone from the bus crew. Look at him, he's just walking in big though, but he finally get denied by poison. And the one sniper is... Ubers are being traded onto big door. This is kind of the same Uber, but Deku might get caught. No one is trying to taxi him out of this big door. He finally gets out, but Domo might pay the price with his life. It doesn't happen, and this should be another reset. I thought I saw someone from the swamp in the backline, but it looks like Yelen managed to find a way out. And now this is going to be down onto Crayon and Alba to see who's the better sniper.
Well, let's see. Is it the Swede or the Irishman, the long boy, who can pull it out? It seems currently that neither really will be finding any big picks just yet. Both of them kind of just holding angles. Alba slowly creeping into Victor, trying to get a wider angle outside into mid, but getting a bit spammed actually. And on the other side, you have Crayon, who has actually just gone down to a sticky trap, so he's not doing anything. He is dead. He'll be in the spawn room soon. Alba is going to get a little bit more space to potentially work off of, but he's going for this tight choke angle instead, and well, there's not much for him to really do as the swamp doesn't really actively peek it. Yilin does cross his vision, but he does not find the headshot. Crayon is actually going to go spawn on Spy. Alba peeking around, and he really wants to find a frag in the most safe of places, and it's not really working out for him.
Well, a Spy might be a good idea from Crayon, because when you look at the way Martin is playing right now, he never turns back, so the Spy might be a good idea. It doesn't look like the bus crew is expecting it because of the sniper. They probably just expect Crayon to come back on sniper, so they have to be really careful, but the stabby knife might go right into Martin.
Yeah, well, he's on that cloak and dagger, so it's, you know, he's got to be here for a while. Martin's just kind of in this massive open space. Jan is actually looking in the general direction to look over Martin, make sure that his back is safe.
Daegu dies to Alba!
What? What even happened? He gets the peek in so far and just finds Daegu. That's a drop, and now full ad for the bus crew. Jan goes down to Crayon, but no med drop for Crayon. The Uber is up. Bus crew is waiting a little bit. They want to wait for their demo to spawn up, it seems. They might actually peek big door here. And the swamp actually has completely given us up. Yilin on the window still trying to sack in, gets headshot, but doesn't die to that snipe from Alba. Pred going down to Deox on mid. It's going to cause the swamp to get out and the bus crew to cap mid.
That was so unlucky. I think if Crayon had been a little more patient, he could have done the backstab onto the med. Crayon retaliates with the nice frag onto Alba, but the damage is done. Jon dies again to Yilin, who was sitting in the backline, but Martin still is sitting on that 60% Uber advantage, and Crayon is looking at both doors. He's not gonna let anyone walk in without paying the price, and they might be able to hold the situation if they are building quick enough.
Well, Alba is just on the sniper, and it seems like the bus crew just wants to make grind their way into second, just like they grinded their way into mid. Bit of a 1v1 with Alba and Crayon and Big Door, but neither find a frag. The Swamp has just been holding top, waiting for their Uber to be up, but now they can drop back down, hold normally. Alba's going to try to go for the one and done here. He peeks in, does not take any damage. He does see a medic, but he can't really find the frag on him. There is the body shot. Alba persists. He is alive. Gets the arrow, and we're just going to be... I think this is going to be a relatively slow Golden Cap. People just waiting around. Alba trying to find a headshot. He goes down to Crayon. So Crayon's going to get the little bigger, more space, you know,
now,
words.
Now
you know?
that the sniper is dead, they're taking their heels onto Big Door. This is the best play here. Trying to... Oh, but the double kill with the ticket trap on Yon onto Domo again. This could be really costly for the Swamp, because now the combo is trying to push from Choke onto the from the bus crew. They can't really do anything. They don't get the Uber force. And finally, Uber is used from Daegu, but Martin. Oh, I thought he could have escaped, but no, he's been forced to, and this is going to be really bad for Daegu. Is being chased by one scout. Alba is on the prowl. Deox actually was in. He got the frag onto Daegu, and this is looking really good for the Swamp now. They have to come back onto last and try to get a gun as fast as they can, or else G.
Yep. Well, the bus crew, they have all their players up. They have their heals up. There's 2 players spawning in 2 seconds for the Swamp. A gun is up, but it gets spammed down. DX tries to edge this point, but 50% has been capped already. And a soldier jumps in, jumps straight into a pyro. That's poison, but an arrow from Martin gets Domo. Another pick for that medic as the bus crew leaves into lobby.
Kind of a questionable play here. They didn't really have to rush things. I think they should have guessed that the spawners would be there in time, and they don't have an Uber ad anymore, even though Daegu died and Martin didn't. So kind of a questionable play here, but I guess the pressure from the Golden Cap just makes you kind of lose your mind at some point. And now the Ubers are going to be the same, and the Swamp, they're really in a really uncomfortable situation here, sitting on their last and knowing that if they concede a round, it is over. So I'm not expecting them to take any risk. And I see Pyro going under the point, and has he been called? I don't think
on the point. He just has the 1v1 gink here. An Uber coming in, a little bit of an Uber trade actually on the point, but Yon and Poison are dead. It's just Martin and Tobbs. Martin has completely given up on this. And, well, this yeah, analyze that.
Well, they should have just waited and taken their time. I mean, there was no point rushing in. And now this is gonna be a 30% ad at least for Daegu, but yeah, they knew there was a gun. They could have just waited to take it down before trying to do anything. And this Golden Cap is really back and forth, as was the game now. And Alba is on snipers, picking Choke, get the frag onto Yilin. This could open things up, but Gink is really close, and I think he has his bar.
Oh, he's going for the oomph.
He's going for the taunt.
He's taunting. He's going around Choke now. There's so many people really close. Oh, but he gets completely destroyed right around the corner. Ooh, that was very close, because there was so many players holding close. The Uber coming in, actually getting forced by Yon in Choke, but Martin doesn't have Uber to contest it with, and Busku has to back off. They have 2 players on mid, and Yilin is tasked to deal with 2 soldiers on mid. A scout comes in to help clean up, which is going to buy some time for the bus crew. Daegu's kind of disconnected from his players, it seems a little bit, but
this is looking grim now for the bus crew. Alba is on his own lobby with the Deox. They have to come back, both of them have to go for more heavier classes. But I don't really know why they held so close from Choke, knowing they had the disadvantage. And now the Uber is fully charged in the hands of Daegu. They're going to Riverside. They have to make it around and to make it happen now.
Yes, they're coming in. Domo and Crown are going to be the ones to get the Uber. Deox goes down. Yilin gets the frag onto Poison. Yilin and Pred together collaborate on that frag on top that's actually still alive on balcony, but the players from Swamp just swarm the point. Everyone's on it, and just this Busku cannot deal with it, and that's going to be the Golden Cap going towards the Swamp.
Whoa, I can't help but think this is well played from the Swamp King advantage of the situation here, but I don't really understand why the Busku held so close in Choke, knowing Martin died and that Daegu at the Uber ad. This is kind of a questionable play. Maybe there was something in play that I missed with the back cap from the 2 players from the bus crew, but still I don't think Martin should have held this close from the lobby, and in the end they got punished really hard for this mistake, and I guess this is what happens to you in Prem. And well, at least they got that first point in the league, but when you're the best crew right now, you're kind of disappointed because you knew you could have done a bit better, I think.
It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. But I mean, this is just this was really rough. It's really rough to lose. Yeah, you lose the first map with a margin of 1 round, and then you lose the second map in a golden cap that lasted like 11 minutes. It's very, very unfortunate, but they're gonna need to keep their heads up high. This is week 2. They need to keep this stuff. They need to keep the morality up to have a chance going into maybe getting playoffs. But we'll see. We have some players in the Interview Me channel, but
Wait, can
I think
we
we might.
maybe
I think yeah. I
go-
think we might look at some logs first.
Yeah, let's
to
do
look at
that.
the stats. Since they started the golden cap so quickly, we need to see all the stats. Yes.
Yelan showing off strongly with going 21 for 12 and 11k damage, just resulting in that really aggressive mids from the swamp, I believe, where Pred and Yelan both jumped in and applied a lot of damage onto the burst crew. And apart from that, I don't see anyone else just showing up as the first map. This was a really, really close game, and it could have gone either way, I feel.
Yeah, it quite looked that way from my perspective. It just seemed like it was a very close round. Some just a lot of advantages being wasted by both teams, and some incredibly crazy things happening, like with Alba peeking Big Door and just dropping Daegu like that. Like, just I feel like this entire series has had like crazy off-class shenanigans, and it's just quite unfortunate. I'm still sad that Ging didn't get his crits play working though in Choke. That was really sad. I was really excited for that, but sometimes it just doesn't work out, I guess.
And we can see how the Swamp won this. They got pretty dominant on mid, winning 4 mids out of the 6 that were in play. So yeah, when you want to win a game, just start winning mid, and it makes everything easier, I guess. But all in all, yeah, really close. And I think even if the burst crew lost this one, as for the first game, this was again really close. And I think they have to stay hopeful for the rest of the season, because pretty much there's so many teams that look really close from one to the other. Even if they lost point here, this is not over yet, and I'm pretty sure they can bounce back next week.
Well, we'll see. I'm not sure. Do you have anything else? Any insights into this game, or do you want to go into the interviews?
Let's bring the interview boys in the interview channel.
Let's drag these boys in. Let's see. There it is. We got the boy Alba and Poison from the bus crew here. To unmute Poison real quick. How are you guys doing? It's a bit of a rough one, but you guys okay?
Getting used to it.
Could be better.
All right. Well,
5 stars, hit 5.
Oh, sorry. I was like, oh, is Umber gonna say something? But all right, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, this is it's quite a close game. Were you guys going into this with a lot of confidence, or were you guys thinking that this was gonna be like, a roll? How was Immortality going into this?
No, I think I at least knew it would be an even game. I don't know. I just felt off the entire series. Like I hit like a one nice sniper shot, but I don't know. Overall, I fed a lot and stuff. I don't know.
How about you, Mr. Poisson?
Well, we were like confident, but all of a sudden, as soon as we start playing the official, we like clench our butt cheeks and seem to just be really hesitant and stuff. So
yeah,
our scrims go so much better. I don't know really what's going on. I think it's just like official nerves.
Yeah, crumble under the official pressure. Oof. I don't know. There's a lot of times where like we decide that we should do one thing, and then we kind of do, like, let's say we're gonna push a choke, and then we kind of hesitate whether to push it or not, and then we end up doing both pushing and going back, and we just crumble.
So one thing we noticed during the game is that you played kind of passively on 2 maps, and whenever you tried to play more aggressively, you got rewarded. So was there a time during the game where you realized that, hey guys, when we go deep, we actually get a better outcome in the fight, or was it something that just you didn't really realize it?
We didn't really realize
No, we
it.
didn't realize it.
Like in scrims, we are playing really aggressive, but I don't know. We haven't found a way to convert it into officials yet.
Because
So-
like go ahead.
We were playing very differently in officials, like a lot more passive than we usually do.
Yeah.
Would you say it comes down to the lack of experience from some of your players?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good reason.
Maybe. There's me and Yon, which haven't played Prem before, so I guess we don't have like experience against high teams. Like all our scrims seem to be like less stalemates and just like more kind of busting jokes and stuff. And then as soon as we get to the official, it's such a different atmosphere and like the way teams play is so different. Like it's hard to adapt to that, I think, especially at this level.
A quick word on that Pyro gameplay we saw on Gulewash. Both of the teams run Pyro kind of often. You were the one playing Pyro for your team, Alba.
Yeah.
I think Diox played a bit of Pyro too. So was it something you had prepared before the game, or just you saw the Swamp running Pyro a lot, so you decided to play the same game?
Yeah, it was kind of like mirroring their game, kind of.
Yeah.
But like we have been like in some scrims, we've been bringing the Pyro out and had some success with it. So we thought we might as well try, or I called for it and no one said no.
Alba's like the silent off-classer. He won't say anything, and then all of a sudden he'll be like snipe it like a headshot. Or
No, I call him going sniper every time.
Oh, a Pyro, though, I don't know.
And
Pyro is rarer than Alba's sniper, I think. Or what
Yeah.
I've seen in scrims. Like,
do you think there's a future for Pyro in sixes? Not that you've run it during official.
I mean, with the current,
I don't want there to be.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame because right now Pyro is kind of broken. I'm gonna put it out there. Like the damage that Pyro does now with the flamethrower is just, it's like three times what it should be. I feel it's like you can melt a 185 scout in like less than a second.
Controversial opinions with Alba.
And I have one last question. So that golden cap just went in back and forth for quite a long time, and then Alba, you get that headshot and drop onto Daegu. What happened in Mumble at this time? Did you just feel like you rushed things in, or what happened in everyone's mind?
There was a call to go forwards, but we barely finished the cap. We were just getting respawns with like 2 players, so yeah, it was rushed. Like 4 players basically went in, did not much, and then they came out with a heavy, so we lost like 2 as 2 came in. We got cap time. I know we focused at the point, but it was not really the play. You got to focus the frags, like if not everyone's in. So we
Yeah.
rushed a lot. Yeah.
Fair enough. Once again, this is the first season in Prem for your team as a whole, so it is understandable these kind of mistakes, I guess. So next week, you're playing 7, so I'm guessing this is going to be delayed because of rewinds.
Yeah.
So let's just gonna assume your next game is actually Aura Electro. So you got 1 point out of your first 2 games. What were you aiming for at the start of the season, and do you think this goal is still achievable?
I mean, judging from scrims, we were aiming at the top 4, and I think it's still doable. We just need to just gotta find our mojo that we have in
Step it up.
scrims. Yeah, we just gotta find what we do in scrims and apply it to officials. I feel we're gonna do a lot better.
So you still have the hope. I like it.
Yeah, never give up.
Well, to be fair, this season seems really stacked behind 7 and Ascent, so you guys have a shot at playoffs, I believe. Yeah, I'm out of question. If I don't know if you have any more.
I mean, I'm just vaguely curious. Will we see a bus crew roster at the Copenhagen Games, Lan?
Yep.
Oh,
I believe
hell
we're-
yeah.
Ooh,
I
hell
believe-
yeah.
I believe. I have to say, I believe that we are the only team that signed up for the Sixes tournament. So, guys, time to sign
Easy
up.
money, guys. Where are you at, other teams? What's going on?
Well, if there's only the bus crew, Ascent will go right there and take the money of it.
Yeah, we will love to.
We'll see
take it.
about that. We'll see about that.
Alright. Well, I guess we could just go into the old shout-outs here. Let's just go through over to Alba. What are your shout-outs?
Shout out to my dad who watched the whole game. Last time he came in at the talk after the matches, but this time he watched both games. So maybe I can get his opinion, who hasn't watched a lot of TF2. Maybe I can get some opinions from him. Shoutouts to some colleagues who also might be watching. And shoutouts to the bus crew and the swamp.
Poison, what you got?
I haven't got much to shout out. I guess shout out to Bus Crew, shout out to Swamp for beating us, getting their revenge win against us. Well done for that. And shout out to May H. I haven't seen him around for a while. Cool guy.
So maybe you're just shout-outing to someone who's dead.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be a
Dying.
first.
Dead TF2. I don't know. Player. I don't know.
Ombrak. What you got?
Shout out to TurboTabs, who is actually me, for letting me cast in his stead tonight. Shout out to Hipfire for being my co-caster, and to Mr. Console, waking up earlier than all of us to make this cast happen. Shout out to both teams for an enjoyable game, and to Alba and Poison for stepping into the interviews even though they lost. And shout out to chat, shout out to Top 5 Rocket, shout out to Ascent. Everyone check out Speed of Fantasy League. This is nuts. And shout out to everyone who made Rewind happen, and shout out to Babs.
I have one last thing.
Oh, go on.
No,
If
you're
there's
not
any-
allowed.
Oh god. If there's any esports psychologists out there who work for free, hit me up. I'm done.
First
Oh,
TF2. Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Tane and the good old backyard bullies that I played for in Fresh Meat tournament. You guys rock. Unlucky on third place.
All right. Good. Well, so we ended off. I just want to give a shout out to Jumpto.net.
Let's do
my
it properly.
team,
Let's do
but-
it properly.
Oh, yeah.
Hipfire.
Yes.
Tell me, do you have any shoutouts?
Hell no, I only have one. It's just shout outs to my ATF12 team, Jumpto.net. I guess shout outs to Turbo Tabs and Console you for casting with me. So yeah, but I guess since it's all we're done now, I'm going to give the general TFTV shout outs. So first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to the 2 lands that are going on in the quote unquote immediate future. You got Rewind 2 happening in approximately a week in Santa Ana, California. It's going to be a big land. It's going to be 7 and then a lot of NA teams that are going to be there. It's going to be big. You should watch it. It is 16th to the 18th of February. That's it. So check that out. It's going to be streamed here on TFTV. So that's really good. And then you have the Copenhagen Game Land, or Copenhagen's Games, which is the 28th to the 1st March, 28th to the 1st of April. This is going to be in Copenhagen, which as the name suggests. This will be streamed...
You're so smart.
Yeah, yeah, I'm extremely smart. This is gonna be streamed on the Essentials account, and it's also gonna be a Highlander thing that's gonna be on Critscast, but that's gonna be a LAN for the all the Euros here, since this is ETF 12. Got to plug the Euro LAN. That's what we got there. And then we just need to shout out to Team Fortress TV. We have a Twitter, we have a Discord, a Facebook, a YouTube, and the Twitch account you're currently looking at. We also have the Team Fortress TV site where there's the forums, there's the events for all the matches that are getting casted. There's the news section as well, so you can keep track of all the cool stuff. And that's basically it. I hope that you enjoyed this cast.
Follow me on
was it-
Twitter.
Oh, follow Umbrak on Twitter. What's your Twitter? Tell me.
Ascent_Umbrak, and I'll be at Rewind, so check me out.
Nice. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this game. There will actually be some ESCA casts in about 5 hours, but the next ETF 12 game that will be cast will be Nunya versus Rakuzan on Sunday.
And
Which
guess
we
who'll
actually
be there?
we will also be casting that. So
Insane.
this is actually it's gonna be me and Umbrak casting that as well, and Console's gonna be doing the ESCA cast. So there you go. We're gonna be the returning cast here of TFTV. But I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next time.